I'm here with my friend, Dr. Bill. I've known Dr. Bill for over 10 years, and he's been a client of mine and a friend. And his journey has been so interesting as a chiropractor. And I wanted to bring him on so that he can tell you a little bit of what that journey has been like. Bill, thanks for doing this for me for the third time. I just want to say how proud of you I am for what you accomplished, because when I met you, you hadn't even started your practice. And then to be able to see you through that journey and get to where you are right now is just amazing. And what I wanted to bring you on is so that you could articulate. Bill is a very articulate man, by the way, so he doesn't need a lot of help to give me this testimonial. But I wanted you to tell people how what we've done with some of the financing, how has that helped you to where you are today?
Awesome. Yeah, I think the first way you helped me was I had never even heard of a business loan broker outside of the traditional banking system. So we met in Toastmasters, which is a public speaking organization, and that's how we connected. Yes. And you had mentioned that if I needed any capital at that time, you would be a good resource. And my experience in somebody who was dealing with loans, it sounded like a loan shark or whatnot. But what I learned in that process,
I did that a lot.
I'm sure even 10 years ago, it was so much more.
Yeah, it was more.
And I remember I did a presentation with you and Jess at the time. And it opened up my eyes to like, wow, if I am not able to acquire funds through I had 4 banks that I had a kind of a reverse situation that a lot of people have when they open a small business is I had 4 banks kind of vying for my business.
Yep.
But what I found out in that process was that there was other options. I didn't utilize them at that time, but I had known you ever since. We've hung out on a very regular basis. So a couple years later, I grew. I helped fund a practice in Barcelona.
I remember that.
Yeah, and it was a project that basically I helped get the practice started. I was the bank, and then I sold it to the associate doc over the course of about 18 months or so. But during that time, I acquired extra funding because I was taking on more risk. Also, I wanted to grow my practice, and I had evolved and changed along the way. And the first time I did a loan, which I think was back in 2017, it really,
Jesus Christ,
yeah, I know.
I don't remember the years.
I do remember because
we're the one paying for them.
That's the one I knew I was taking on that activity during that time. So I wanted a little extra wiggle room. And it not only helped me do that project, sell the project, and then also just continue to grow my staff and find more staffing and people. So that was kind of the first adventure or endeavor that I sought with you. And then we had a pandemic. I had massive growth during that time. And also I utilized your services through the ERTC? Is that what it's called?
The Employer Retention Tax Credit.
And the thing I can say that working with you has always been, like when you work with a bank, they just don't have it as much together. It's because they offer so many other things. This is only my experience. I'm not saying how it is. There's a lot of red tape at the beginning. There's also a funneling of like, are you even in the right department? But whenever I've come to you, I've been like, I think I want some more capital to invest in to grow in this way. If it's another staff member, another doctor, if there's another program that I'm adding to my practice, if I want to hire more staff, it's more of an opening of a conversation instead of a closing, where when you go to the bank, it's more like you prove to us where you're going to use this, how it's going to be, and not that that's not a conversation that we have with.
Part of the reason that happens is the value that we bring as a broker is to get you to the right lender for the type of funding that you need. And when you go to your retail bank, you're going to get what they offer. When I'm dealing with 15, 20, even 50 banks, we have a lot more to draw from. That's the value of a broker, is knowing to take you to the right lender, because unfortunately sometimes the institution that it's not necessarily the right lender every single time for 100%. Every product. So that's how that comes in. Bill, obviously I'm asking for your recommendation. How can you recommend us? Because again, you're a friend, and I've seen you and I've seen your journey.
Yeah.
Obviously I do know a little bit of how this has helped you.
Sure.
I just wanted the people to hear how the capital injections that you've taken and so successfully deployed into your business have taken you to where you are today. And I'm really proud to call you a friend, and I appreciate your recommendations every single time I've asked you for the testimonial. So we've upgraded since the other one.
Yeah, the studio's different, funded it with my loan. I want to really touch on the process of working with you. One of the recommendations I can say is whenever you're hashing out financial background, status, that's a tough conversation. Everyone feels a little bit like, oh, you're going to look under the hood and see what's really going on. Every time I've had to do that, I felt that anxiety about like, is my situation okay? And what I've always come away from that was, because like you said, you're going to find the right vendor who works within the industry that's going to help support you. There's this level of understanding of the business and the ebbs and flows and all that. So every time I've actually done the process, I've come away more empowered that I'm going to be working with somebody who understands me better, understands my business better. You always feel like they understand how you're going to actually use the capital to grow, because it's just not generic. It's like, this is my business. I can say that process of like uncovering what the situation is and where are you has always been awesome. You know, the people that handle it through you and over the years, there's a consistency of nature for them, which has been really helpful. And in addition, having some ease in getting the funding. I actually took more a couple times than I was actually planning, and that helped really go kind of get outside the box. There's something that happens when you think you're going to take 50,000 and then you take 150,000. And there's many reasons why somebody should take more or shouldn't take more. But what I found is it allowed me to like actually go for the next thing. So I've utilized the lending in the past for hiring a more full-time position, hiring a second doctor. And recently, when we worked together about a year ago, adding a different program to my practice and really investing in myself and in my team with that program so we can help grow the practice and help more people. So every time, it's always been the focus is, how is this going to help me grow and expand? Where I think a lot of times when people lend, they're dealing with somebody to get out of a situation, right? Yeah. And I think your company looks at a business investor and says the way to grow business is with capital and utilizing it to invest in the structure of the business to then become more profitable, help more people, serve more people, and do a better job with your product. So I always feel that in the interaction with you and your team, because you infuse that in everything that you do in this company. It's not just about lending money, it's about supporting a dream, if you will.
Absolutely, and you've deployed the capital brilliantly. You're like the poster child example of things going right. Seeing you before you started the business where you are today, and how you've grown not only the services that you offer, and also how you've grown the revenue of the business, how you have plans to grow even further. It's something that only time can create. Just seeing that transition makes me really, really happy. And obviously I have a lot of other clients like you. You're just one of the ones I interact with that I see often enough. But thank you so much for your recommendation and your friendship, and I'm really proud of you and what you've done. Guys, if you have a business and you're looking to grow, we have products for entrepreneurs that are looking to grow their businesses. We have SBA loans, non-SBA loans that are term loans, lines of credit, working capital lines of credit, real estate, a commercial real estate transaction. We have a range of products that can help you grow your business and achieve that dream. Obviously, if you have a situation where you can deploy the capital the way Dr. Bill has, that can help you as well. Thank you so much, Bill.
Hey, thanks,
Appreciate
brother.
You.